Trump is throwing the stock markets into uncertainty and chaos, but that's not a problem for us. We are making money with the number one market I've been telling you about for months, weeks, and days. Gold, silver, gold miners, silver miners. That's where the bull market is at. That's where the action is. So we're going to look at it and we're going to see where are the next great swing trades in the precious metals sector. Because there are some, and they're really interesting.
Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month.
Okay, so the stock markets are going banana crazy. And what does gold do? New all-time high. You see it right here. Look at this tiny little correction right at the upper end of the uptrend channel. I mean, it does not get more bullish than that. Is gold overbought? Sure, it sure is. But guess what? It's going higher. So what do we do when it's going higher? We're doing nothing. We're not going to try to outsmart a strong bull market like this. And if we look at this, what we see here is the 50 coming up. We have this old resistance zone right here, and we have the middle line of the uptrend. They all converge together. So this is my max target for correction in gold, which is basically around 2,950-ish to 2,940. That's about $120 to the downside, or about 4%. That's not worth it to bet against such a strong market. We are staying in on the long side on gold, as we have for weeks and months, and we were right about it. Because there's nothing happening in the stock market. So let's take a look at the S&P real quick. Look at this. They all look the same. S&P went up to the 200. This is the 200 here, the purple line. We broke above it, didn't confirm, rejected it. Now we're below it. We're at least going to close this gap. I mean, that's almost a guarantee. And then we'll see what's happening. Are we making a new low? We're seeing this brown line, which is the 50, coming down. If this keeps going, it's going to cross the 200. That's a very negative sign, as you know. So, do I need to be long in the S&P right now if I look at this? No. This rebound that we've seen after the massive sell-off in February, March, quite weak, which is a warning sign that we want to keep in the back of our mind. And it also shows us at this moment, this is only a technical rebound after the big sell-off. NASDAQ looks just like the S&P. The NASDAQ actually even already closed this gap. But it's the same scenario, except the 50 is coming down even sharper. Uh-oh, that's not good. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Why do we care about Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is the riskiest asset. So if we have high risk demand in the market, well, we should see it in Bitcoin and the cryptos. Doesn't look great. Look at this, right? It's fighting with the 200. It's been doing it for basically all of March. In the past days, it made lower lows and lower highs. That's not good. If we draw a trend line, well, we broke it today. That's why we have the strong sell-off, by the way. That's a reaction for the breaking trend. We see the 50 coming down. We see the 200 crossover almost certainly happening. The 50 from the top, which has pushed the Bitcoin prices down all of February. And this horizontal old support, now resistance zone, also pushing Bitcoin down. Do I need to be long in Bitcoin when I see this scenario right now? Not really. Might change soon, but this does not look great. Again, what does this tell us? This tells us risk assets right now not in demand. Now let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar is important. We know this, right? The dollar is important for the commodities and the markets. So what do we see in the dollar? Well, it's consolidating. Again, we saw a little bit of a rebound. It's weaker than even I expected. We didn't even reach the 200. We didn't even try to test the 200 yet. No, we're not even talking about the downtrend, which is intact. The 50 is coming down sharply, obviously. Short term, we might still go a little higher, but midterm, the dollar is going down. That is great news for commodities. That's especially great news for gold and silver. We already talked about gold, so let's take a look at silver. That's the true star, right? Look at this run-up silver. We broke out above 35. We are this close to a major short squeeze in silver that would push silver up very quickly, all the way up to $40 an ounce, maybe $45 an ounce. And look how different silver looks. 50 moving average trending up, above the 200 trending up, the 50 above the 200. That's the way it should be, right? Short-term momentum even more positive than long-term momentum. This is the price action we want to see. Higher highs in silver, higher lows in silver. This is the bull market. This is where the action is. Look at this on a monthly basis. We are breaking with this week's close, unless an epic collapse happens in the US markets, which I doubt. We will close above the major yellow resistance zone here for the first time since 2012. That is a massive buy signal, a massive buy signal. Now the shorts will try to push silver down. They've been trying it for years and definitely in the past month and weeks, and they have not been able to do it. They did it, they were able to do it at the end of last year, but now they're clearly running out of ammunition and things are getting really dicey for the silver shorts. And if silver breaks out about 35.50, we are off to a short squeeze of epic proportions in the silver market. So we want to be long silver. We want to add to our position on any pullback. And obviously, we are buying silver miners on any weakness because they are leveraged plays on the silver price. By the way, real quick, I got a question about Pan American Silver, which is one of the most prominent stocks when we talk about silver mining stocks because it has the name silver in it. But actually, Pan American Silver is a gold producer. Only about 20% of the revenues come from silver. Now, does that really matter to you if the stock price goes up? No. But if we want to be correct and we want to have leveraged plays on the silver price, Pan American Silver is not it. Now, let's take a look at one more precious metal commodity that I like, that we want to keep an eye on, that nobody's talking about, that has massive upside potential. Platinum, right? We've talked about it for years. It doesn't, and years, that's too long a time frame, but for months and weeks. And it worked a little bit, but it hasn't exploded yet. But I want to tell you what and show you what I'm talking about. So the 50 is above the 200 already. That's bullish, right? But really, the action in palladium is going to start if we break this horizontal zone right here. So 1,000, we need to get about 1,065 for things to really turn around. Now we're making higher highs in 2025, that's good. But as you can see, we're struggling with making higher highs. And that will change if we break this zone. But if you take a long-term look at palladium, you see what is possible here and what we're talking about. Gold is 50% above the all-time highs from last year. Platinum, it's about 60% below its all-time highs, which are from 2008. I mean, it doesn't even have to get back to those levels. If it just gets back to these levels here in 2021, which silver way above those, gold way above those, platinum isn't. If that happens, I mean, there's a major interesting upside trade in platinum. So weakness in platinum, also an interesting swing trading opportunity. That's it for today. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.